Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here, and Expansion 2 for Forza Horizon 4 is closing very near, as during a Playground Games livestream, they did assure us that the next big DLC will arrive at the first half of 2019. And looking at the date right now, there isn't that much time left, and so far, no announcements, no leaks, or anything relating to Expansion 2 has actually surfaced. However, according to the team, they are hard at work trying to finish it off, and I just want to say right now, I would much rather a delay in the expansion pack if it's going to be well thought out and also make the game run smoothly too without any bugs, because if it's rushed, not only will we have an add-on that is quote-unquote half finished, but there's always the chance that more glitches and bugs could arise from it too. I'm uncertain whether Playground Games have a date that they must fulfill to Microsoft, but if more time is needed, I don't mind if there's going to be a delay, since there are many issues with Forza Horizon 4 that needed to get fixed first. With that said, let's go on to the fun part where we speculate as I present to you 6 features we would like to see for Expansion 2 in Forza Horizon 4. Starting off with number 1, a proper airstrip. This is a must for most of us drag racers out there, as for the past 2 Horizon games, we got a 1 mile airstrip which allowed drag tuners to build the ultimate car for acceleration and top speed. To me, it almost feels empty without one, and I remember every time I would join a public lobby online back in Horizon 2 and 3, you will always get people lining up ready to race from one end to another just to see who has built the faster car. No race needed to start, no drag lights that only could reach a quarter mile with no runoff. Just you, a horn, and some players, and that was it. Truly some of the best moments I've had in a game with online races that I didn't know, and it's part of the community which I feel is being neglected at this point. So to bring the airstrip back, that means a proper drag event will also be available too, and of course the Rivals leaderboard will also make its return, even though I think Rival mode sucks compared to previous titles, but nonetheless, I guarantee a lot of people will purchase Expansion 2 just so we can utilize a proper smooth tarmac 1 mile drag strip. Number 2, a very long motorway. Alright, I know this may sound a little silly as I just proposed a 1 mile drag and there is a motorway in the original Forza Horizon 4 map, but we all know that the current motorway is just not long and straight enough to max out your car for a long distance. Back in Horizon 1 and 2 and even 3 to an extent, we had long highways that weren't necessarily arrow straight, but it was enough to max out your car with some feel when a small turn was coming up at 280 miles per hour, and that's also part of the thrill when it comes to highway racing. Incorporate that with AI vehicles, you can choose on VMAXing your car on either the proper side of the road or onto oncoming traffic. That was what made it so much fun, and I suggest this as a feature because if you haven't noticed, when you are in a lobby, a lot of players would line up at the start of the motorway and just have random highway drags. It's just unfortunate that not many people actually make it from one end to another as they veer off violently off the road only because their sleeper cars can't take on the relatively sharp corners that the existing motorway has. The fun just gets completely deflated when I see that happening, so for me and many others, that is certainly something we would love to have in Expansion 2. Number 3, the connecting bridge. So when you look at the top of the map, you will see that there are a few bridges which looks like it could be connecting to perhaps another area. And many people, including myself, have speculated that perhaps in the future we would get a DLC that utilizes that bridge where we could drive across it into a different city. Now, one cool thing about this connecting bridge is, one, it seems like a very long piece of road which could be a supplement for highway or 1 mile drag races, But if it's a bridge which leads to Expansion 2, there could be a possibility of no loading times of going from the main map to Expansion 2, as it's literally an add-on. Now you might ask, well, what about people who haven't bought Expansion 2 or don't have the Ultimate Edition of the game? Well, that is fine, as they will still have that part of the map downloaded. It's just locked, similar to when you play a demo of a game. If you go to a restricted part, all that happens to you is that you just end up resetting back to the edge again until Expansion 2 is purchased. Who knows? I honestly think that would be an awesome idea that Playground Games could potentially look into, as I'm not a big fan of the loading screens from one map to another, as it just feels really disconnected. Number 4, a proper racetrack. One thing I love about the Crew 2 is within the open world map, there are proper road and off-road racetracks that you could actually test drive and race on. Of course, I understand that the scale of the Crew 2's map and Forza Horizon 4 is like comparing a truck to a trolley, but how about Playground Games get creative? They could potentially make one big track with multiple different layouts. Some perhaps may have off-road parts in it. So when you look from an aerial view, it's quite messy, but when the tracks are all separately laid out, it all begins to make sense. And this will create a bit more of an authentic racing feel, as the tarmac will be much smoother, there will be braking points to learn, and also apexes to clip. It could very well bring a whole new dimension to the game that Playground Games have yet to explore. To throw a slight different approach to this, many have requested the Top Gear test track, which could easily work in Forza Horizon 4. I mean, the setting, the history, it all makes sense for it to be implemented into this game. However, I know there will be many licensing issues that need to be sorted out before they can bring in any official racetracks. But once again, we may never know. If they do bring in the Top Gear test track, that would be awesome, because that also has a 1 mile drag strip as well for us to race on. Number 5, London. I got to say, when majority of us first saw the unveil of Forza Horizon 4 being set in Britain, we thought, great, we are going to get a chance to drive through the city of London. Now, I understand that within Britain, there are many different and beautiful cities, but for many who live elsewhere, or those who haven't been anywhere near Britain without sounding ignorant, the first city that would come into our mind when we mention Britain is London. From memory, I don't think there has ever been 2 major cities in a Horizon game, but with the combination of the connecting bridge we spoke about earlier, how cool would it be to experience a totally different city seamlessly with no loading screens from Edinburgh to London? I know geographically it doesn't make any sense, but since when did Forza Horizon's map made sense anyways? And number 6, the cars. Now, with every expansion pack, we always look forward to the new list of cars that will be joining the large catalogue of vehicles already, and I understand on my channel I cover many cars, whether they've been in the past Forza games or new cars making its debut. Regardless, in this video, I won't be making a prediction or any specific cars I want to see. All I really want is a diverse range of awesome cars that majority of Forza Horizon 4 players will use. That includes hypercars, supercars, Japanese imports, old school muscles, concept cars, racing cars, basically anything that is new or potentially returning to the franchise. However, with that being said, there should not be one car on that list that's been put in as a filler just to inflate the number of cars in the brand new expansion. Ideally, getting a handful of brand new cars which have never been in the series would absolutely be lovely. However, we know that's near impossible based on every car pack DLC Playground Games have ever released. So, prove us wrong. Give us new cars along with your expansion pack that we all want to drive, every single one of them, because that will be a big part of how successful Expansion 2 will be. So there we have it, guys, 6 features that we would like to see in Expansion 2 for Forza Horizon 4. Let me know what you guys think about this entire list, if you guys agree with it or not. Also, what would you guys like to see for Expansion 2? Now, there are a lot of other options out there, like Hot Wheels number 2, or something completely out of this realm that we haven't even thought of yet. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. Also, if you guys would like to see more Forza Horizon 4 content right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.